Hi, my name is Greg Tanner. This is EDL case study. Section 1, evaluate. Miss Lynn, the library media specialist at St. Regis, decided to make copies of software to help teachers at the school. Miss Brandon, a new teacher to the school, did not feel comfortable taking a copy of the software. She told the media specialist that this was not allowed at her previous school, as it's a violation of copyright laws to make and distribute unauthorized copies. Miss Lynn replied that she was saving the district and school money. Now the new teacher went to the principal to report what was happening. The media specialist, the new teacher, teachers that accepted a copy, and the principal were involved in the situation. Miss Lynn, the media specialist, says the owner of the software isn't going to bother with a small town school. And Miss Brandon refused the copy and states it's a violation of the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976 and the 1980 amendments. As the school principal, I let Miss Lynn know that it's a violation of the law. I told her to stop making copies and to collect the ones she has given out. Section 2, evaluate. Yes, the publisher of the program is being harmed monetarily by Miss Lynn illegally copying and distributing their work, and the act contravenes with the copyright law. There was a breach of contract in that the school board had only one legal copy and did not have permission to replicate and distribute other copies. Also, the actions were harassing to the teacher that was following the law and felt violated that others did not stay within the legal boundaries of use of copyrighted materials. In the role of principal, I acted swiftly and correctly by informing the media specialist to cease and desist with illegal copies. Also, I informed her to retrieve any unauthorized copies from the teachers at the school. This did not negatively affect the future success of students or harm their well-being. Explanation for Mr. Sample's response. Mr. Sample stated that he was not aware of the illegal copying. Then he told the media specialist to retrieve any unauthorized copies. This is a serious violation and the school district is liable. As the leader of the school, Mr. Sample should have taken ownership of the matter and collected all unauthorized copies of the material. He could have brought staff together to reteach copyrighted material and what to do next time they're presented with the same situation. Section 3, communicate. The crux of the situation is that an employee tried to save money for the school district by making illegal copies of software, and the school had to retrieve and get rid of those copies. Section 4, reflectively evaluate. The people, Miss Lynn, she's the media specialist for the school. Miss Lynn is always looking out for the school and trying to save money. She overlooks rules slightly as they live in a small town, therefore all rules do not apply to them. Mrs. Williams is an experienced teacher at St. Regis. She was grateful that Mrs. Lynn made her a copy of the software. Miss Brandon is new to St. Regis, yet does not think that copying the program is legal. She is a by the rules person and wants to be within the confines of the law. Mr. Sample is the principal of St. Regis School and admitted that he didn't know copies of the programs were being made. Mr. Sample should be aware of what is happening in all classrooms and would then know if additional teachers had copies of the software. St. Regis Elementary School is a small school. They live in a small town, and some teachers think that laws for large schools are different than those from small schools. It's a school where teachers have been there for a long time and they have their own family atmosphere at the building. Programs. The school had bought the software program for the school, however, they only purchased one copy. Now, several teachers had asked for the copy of the program, and the media specialist complied, yet she should not have made copies and instead asked administration to purchase more of the programs. Section 5, reflectively evaluate. The situation could be damaging to the stakeholders. The violation of making copies would definitely be a negative for the school district. Rules apply to copyrighted materials no matter whether people live in a village or a metropolitan area. Now, the individuals that have a stake in this matter are all the people that made a copy, received a copy, denied the copy, or knew about the illegal copy. Also, besides the school board would have a stake in this matter, as it would reflect in a negative way on the board if it's found that one of their schools broke a law. All of the stakeholders have been consulted. The other stakeholders would be the school board members. Yes, I could learn more about the situation by speaking with everyone at St. Regis School. This would be very beneficial and help in the resolution of this matter. I do know enough to make a decision. The fact that unauthorized copies were being made is ample information to know that copying must be stopped and all illegal copies be collected and destroyed so no one can use them. Section 6, improve and develop. What I should do in this situation is to thoroughly examine the scenario to determine the proper response. I should thoroughly investigate the situation and determine what I should do first. It is important to not react swiftly. Next, I would take the action of retrieving all illegal copies and destroying them so we make sure they are not used. Now, a few strategies would be to speak with all employees involved. And the second step would be to contact the publisher of the computer software to purchase additional copies. Third, I would train the entire staff regarding duplication of computer software. Section 7, reflectively evaluate. In review, the compilation of facts before acting is demonstrated in the previous steps. Everyone that has a stake in this matter should be consulted. A con would be the difficulty of contacting everyone involved. Parents should also be aware of school policy. And interviewing the stakeholders is a positive plan that will allow all concerned to have their input on the decision. Also, looking out for the best interests of students, teachers, and staff will provide for the best interests of all stakeholders. The vision of the school is of integrity and teaching the students to do the right thing. A con would be that it may be too involved or take too much time. Section 8, develops. Finally, the best decision is to proactively plan for the future. Currently, we need to retrieve all the duplicated, unauthorized copies. These must be dealt with and put out of commission. Next, we need to plan meetings with administration and staff to make sure we stay within the law. In December, all administrators will meet to determine a plan of action for better staff training. Then in January, we will present our plan to the Board of Education for approval. Afterwards, we will have staff training in March to educate all employees the proper handling of computer software. Future software purchases will be done by a building committee. Section 9, implementation. Implementation of the plan will require everyone working together for it to be successful. The use of computers is very important for our students. It is imperative that we move forward with a set plan to distribute materials only in a legal manner, and unauthorized duplication shall not be tolerated. There is a right way to proceed, and that is our path. Staff members that intentionally copy material without permission will be reported to the proper authorities. Therefore, we have all employees on the same page, and moving forward, we take necessary steps to be upstanding members of the community. Plan B would be to have more training and teaching of the right way to obtain software. Section 10, implementation. Within PLO Standard 6, we will effectively manage and maintain proper procedures for copyrighted software and materials, and we will use data-informed information to make sure that it is carried out in proper and correct manner. Third, we will reflect and examine keeping our guidelines and strictly staying within copyright laws to assure there is no unauthorized copies of softwares. This assignment was relevant to my role as an educator, as it informed me of copyright laws and restrictions. Also, it made me aware of proper procedures for computer software. As a future principal, it provided me with the guidelines as to how to be in step with copyright laws. I will have staff train yearly within these rules. Secondly, I will observe and be aware of any improper use by staff. And here are the references. Thank you very much.